everyone. My name is David Olson and I am the SQL Data Ninja. This is the first of a three-part video sequence on commodities. Now, in this video, we're going to use Python and Yahoo Finance to retrieve prices. We'll write that, we'll scrape the data from Yahoo Finance and put all that data into a CSV file. In the future video, we're going to import that into SQL Server, and we're going to do a lot of analysis. Somebody might ask, well, what is a commodity? A commodity is a good that is indistinguishable from other like goods. So an example would be a bag of sugar is indistinguishable from another bag of sugar. Or an ingot of platinum is indistinguishable from another ingot of platinum. We're going to look at hogs, cattle, and even soybeans. So we're going to have a great time with this, so stay with me and let's go get some data. Let's answer the question then of what is a commodity. A commodity is a basic good used in commerce that is interchangeable with other goods of the same type. Examples include metals like gold or platinum, or agricultural goods like wheat or cattle. If we think about orange juice as a commodity, we would think that 1 gallon of orange juice is identical to another. The same thing is true with oil and gas, or perhaps soybeans. Here's the list of the commodities that we are going to use for this video and this study. Crude oil, gold, lean hogs, random length lumber, live cattle, orange juice, platinum, sugar, soybeans, and Chicago wheat. Where are we going to get our commodity prices? We are going to use Yahoo Finance to retrieve daily pricing information because Yahoo Finance is free and it's been rock solid to find those prices, and we have some nice libraries in Python to gather that data. So here we are in Yahoo Finance. Notice at the top that it's financeyahoo.com, and at the moment I'm getting a quote for soybean futures. You can see that it says that right here, and the symbol is ZS equals F. Now it says that soybean futures are up today, and this is a bit misleading if you don't really know how futures markets work. This 1,361.25 is a quote in pennies per bushel. So that's not a dollar quote, that's pennies per bushel. So at the moment that's being quoted at $13.61 and a fraction per bushel. We know we can get the prices then in Yahoo Finance, but let's go ahead and write a Python script to automate it. So here's the beginning of my Python script, and in it I am going to import my libraries. Now, right here where it shows the N1, that means that I put it in a separate window. So put each section of code like I have, put it in a separate window. So I've installed and imported the Pandas library, Yfinance, datetime, time, requests, and I/O. If you go to run this and it doesn't work, then it's entirely possible that you haven't installed that library. So to do that, you can type pip install and then the name of the library. In this window, I am defining the start date and the end date for the data that I'm going to grab. So I am defining January 1st, 2011, and then it's going to go to the end of 2021. Now my next window, window 3, is purely descriptive. You can see that I have these hashtags at the beginning, which means that in Python they won't execute. But I wanted to give some information in my Python script as to which Commodities, I am getting data for how they're expressed and how large the contract size is. For example, gold, the ticker symbol is GC=F. It's expressed in US dollars and cents per troy ounce, which is different than a 1/16 of a pound. Also, we could look at some others here, say soybean futures. Now this is the ticker symbol ZS=F. It's expressed in pennies or cents per bushel, and a contract is 5,000 bushels. So this whole window is just for information purposes so that we know how the contract is expressed and in what units. Here in my fourth window, I am defining the variable symbols equals to a list. Now, this list has 10 ticker symbols for each of the 10 commodities. I have those separated with commas and I put single quotes. This will allow me in my next window to refer to this variable symbols as opposed to having to type those out. Here in the fifth window, we retrieve the data from Yahoo Finance and put it into a data frame. Now it looked kind of ugly, but we did it so that the data frame would include the data in a very nice way. A few things. First, this variable stock final will have all the data in a data frame. Second, we use symbols that we previously defined, and remember those symbols are the 10 ticker symbols for each of the 10 commodities. Right here is the Yahoo Finance library that we can use to download the data. Once we run the first 5 windows then, we can look at the contents of the stock final data frame. So it's right here, and if we do the .head method, it shows the first 5 rows of data. Now look at the column names. We have the date, the open price, high, low, close, adjusted close, volume, and name. Now we can also look here at stock final.describe, and that's going to give us the number of rows, the mean, standard deviation, minimum, the 25th percentile, the 50th, the 75th, and the largest value for each one of those. Here in the 8th window, we can show the last 5 rows, and we do that so we can ensure that we're getting all the data we thought we would. And finally, here in the 9th window, I can save that entire data frame into a comma-separated value file. Later, I will import that into SQL Server and do further analysis and manipulation of that data. So here is the end result of all of that Python code. That is, we have a .csv file with column titles and more than 10 years of data for each of the 10 commodities. So here's our column titles right here. And then we have the associated data. You see the date. A lot of our prices have several decimal points. And here at the end, we have the name of our commodity. That's this GC=F. So all of the Python was built in order to get this data and to get it in an easily importable format so that we can put it into our database. Sometimes I have a hard time getting orange juice historical data from the Yahoo website. So I went to investing.com and went to their commodities section, and I'm looking at orange juice historical data. Now I would need to change my begin date, end dates here. So let me put January 1st, 2011, and do that for the current period, and then hit apply. And now you'll see that I can download data for more than the last 10 years. So I would download it, save it. In the next video, I'm going to show how to import the data from Yahoo Finance and then this one get them all into a SQL Server database.